Mike?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. My voice is raspy. This is what we do.
Girl, welcome, because mine is too. I don't know what's going on. I think I had the windows open and then the weather changed a little bit here.
And you just woke up and your throat was like,
yes, ma'am.
But then you thought you were sick. So you're like, what's going on? But you're like, everything else works fine.
Yes.
So you're like, I want to drink, but I can't because now my throat. That was my issue.
Yeah.
I have 3 kids. So I woke up one morning like,
oh, you're always on guard, right?
Yeah. But they had been at their dad. So I'm like, I don't have like kid colds. Like what's going on? And it's the weather change. It's everybody. It's kind of.
Where are you coming from? Are you
are
you still based in Atlanta?
I'm based out of Atlanta.
Okay.
Yes. But we were just here in New York.
For Fashion Week.
For Fashion Week.
Yes.
Right. Was that before? That was after the Olympics.
Yeah.
So we went to Paris. We were there for a week, and then we came to New York for Fashion Week. We went home for a week, and now we're back to New York, and then we go to Milan today, and then
we go to Milan today, girl.
Paris next week.
So what's happening in Milan?
Well, while I'm in Milan on September the 21st, my new movie is gonna drop.
Yeah. We are talking to the one and only Eva Marcelle, talking about your new movie, Buried Alive and Survive.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Premiering the 21st. Actually, we're gonna air this on Friday. Premiering today on Lifetime.
Yes.
Starring you along with Tyler Lepley.
Yes. The amazing Tyler Lepley.
Girl, let me tell you, I was scared.
Were you?
I was scared watching the movie. I was like, oh, he plays that role.
He plays that role so well. But you know what's so cool about this Deja Vu is that what Lifetime is doing is ripped from the headline. So this is inspired by an actual true story.
And that's even scarier.
That's what the scariest part is. It's not that M. Night Shyamalan decided to write this crazy dream he had. This happened to a woman in real life.
Night.
Bizarre.
That's bizarre. Okay, so how did they come to you with the movie? How'd you hear about the project?
So I got a call from my agent and said, I have a really cool project. It's different. Mm-hmm. It's an offer. Read it and let me know what you think. So I read it and immediately I was like, oh my God, I love her. I love her because she reminds me of me in so many ways of what I've gone through in life. The need and the will to survive. Yeah. Being a mother, she went through domestic violence and decided to raise her child and to move on in life. And so I identify with that very much so. And then the part about the box, and I love doing stunts. So I was like, yeah, bury me in a box.
So wait a minute, what was that like? Okay, you played FYI, she plays the role of Alicia.
Alicia Sullivan.
Okay, and so Alicia gets buried in this box. Did you have a stunt double or did you do part of it? How did that work?
So I did. I was very fortunate to have an amazing stunt double. Okay. She stunts Lolita, who plays on Wakanda.
Oh, wow.
Right. So she's
she's for real,
She's for real. So she was able to teach me so much. There's a lot you'll see. We're in the woods. I'm running. I'm escaping for my life. I'm just trying to figure things out. So she does a lot of stunts, but I do most of my stunts. Everything inside of that box.
That was you.
That was me.
And were you not claustrophobic? I mean, I know you have crew and all that stuff around you, but it felt like it was real.
It was real. It was terrifying. And the crazy thing is exactly that. I know I have a crew around me. Right. I know I'm safe. I mean, I'm shooting with Lifetime. They do movies every single month. This is what we do, right? So I know that I'm safe. I have SAG on set. I have all my people. My director is dope. When that box closed and started to nail shut, and I'm in there, and there's just dirt and
baby
being thrown on top of me. And my director, he's French, so he has this really thick accent. He's like, "You're dying, you're dying. You have to get out to save your son. You're dying." And I was like, "Oh my God!" I just freaked out as a mom of 3, putting myself in this woman's position, not making up a character. This is a woman who actually did this. So I am putting myself in her shoes. Yeah. What do you do when you are locked somewhere with no way to get out, but you have to get out? Yeah. That will, that urge, that's something that's inside of you that you have to find, because I have a 14-year-old son outside in the world that I have to go take care of. Right. And that's my priority.
And you had to get out of there.
out of there, girl. But I feel like it's so relatable in so many ways, not just the domestic violence part. I think that is one that is very close to home for me, something that a lot of women and men do not talk about because it's a shameful part of their reality. So I felt like God called me to do this project.
Wow.
I felt like it was divine timing, that I had healed enough to be able to access those feelings, but not to fall into a slump. But more so to speak for the people that can't speak, for the woman that went through this, that no one really knows about, the women that are going through this, the men that are going through this. When you feel like you are just in a box and you can't get out and you're trying to, and everything around you is just closing in, like, what do you do?
What a great way to lead into a ministry, like for real. I mean, it's on camera. You're ministering to somebody. That's
what art is for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I do what I do, and I get a lot of the extras behind it, right? So you get like red carpets and all the glitz and the glam and the makeup and all that. But I do what I do because I have been called to serve, and this is my ministry. My ministry is to represent Christ, to represent my people, to represent Black women, to represent the minority, and to do it in a way where others who are completely oblivious to our realities have a better understanding and a better perspective of the life that we live. Because to be Black in America as a woman is different.
That is a whole bag of difference.
It's a whole bag of difference.
A whole bag.
But you don't know unless you know. You just don't know.
Right.
So as a storyteller, as an actor, I feel like that's part of my obligation. So the fun stories and the cutesy ones, those are always cool. But I felt like it was time to dive into something gritty.
And you did.
Yeah.
And this is good. So make sure y'all check for it. Now, wait, I want to go back a little bit.
Let's
Let's talk about when you first got started. You were introduced to us as a model.
Yes.
We all aspired to do the walk and to look like you. You were so like, oh my gosh. When we saw you, how long ago has that been?
20 years.
No, it hasn't.
Exactly.
Because I'm only 5.
That part, it's actually been 20 plus years, but it aired in 2004.
Are you kidding me?
It is 2024. I did it. It took about a year and change for them to edit it. I did it around 18, 19 years old. I'll be 40.
Girl,
next month.
Are you
So
kidding me?
so when people were like, "Oh my God, I was with you," I'm like, "You're telling your age,
right?
sis."
I don't know you. I saw you in reruns.
Yes,
I saw you in reruns. What was that like though when you first got the opportunity to do your modeling?
It was life changing.
Yeah.
Modeling was something that I never truly aspired towards. I was in school for criminal justice, for speech communication. I thought I was going to be Ketanji Brown Jackson, the first Black Supreme Court Justice. Like, that was my goal. And if that didn't work out, I would have broadcasting as an opportunity because I had it as an education in mass comm.
I can see that.
But my best friend decided she wanted to try out for this new show called Top Model. And I love designing clothes on the side. So I would design clothes and do like little fashion shows in my college at Clark Atlanta University.
Okay.
The Clark Atlanta, HBCU. And I went on an audition with her for Top Model, and they chose me.
Did she get picked?
No.
I don't remember. Okay. Oh, gosh.
No.
Are y'all still friends?
She's doing well.
Very good. Very
She's
good.
doing well.
Oh my gosh.
Yes,
that's
love
crazy.
her to death. But it was one of those, I just kind of happened into it.
Yeah.
I knew nothing about makeup. I knew nothing about walking in heels. Like, I did enjoy watching the fashion shows on Saturday mornings. Like, this is 20 years ago. Like, style shows in the morning.
Yep.
And you see all the runway shows. You're like, oh my God, Naomi. Oh my God. Iman. But now.
It was such a model culture.
It was.
back
It
then.
was. And I remember, like, when I first saw Alec Weck, I was like, oh my God.
Right? Just
Oh my
beautiful.
God. Just so. For me, I love the aesthetics. I'm an artist. I love art. But I had no idea that I would happen into this business.
And so what happened after you got that and you did the modeling and then you drifted off to what?
So I started modeling. I did really well. And then I got, my first contract was CoverGirl. They extended it.
Yes.
So I started with my initial contract from winning the show. And then I got another contract for like mascara and stuff like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, so I'm doing this. And so I'm in the Procter & Gamble family. So now I'm doing Olay and all these different shoots. And I got an audition for a television show with Tay Diggs. And I'll never forget, it was a small little role. My modeling agent is the one that gave it to me. I read it and I auditioned. They hired me. I went to Canada and shot it. And I remember leaving set that day. And I said, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do, like, for the long run.
Wow.
And I kept modeling, don't get me wrong, launched Apple Bottoms. I mean, I can take you back. Echo Red.
Girl, you got all of it.
All
you
back
were part
in the
of the
day.
whole era.
The era back in the day when DKNY was like, what? Like the things. And then I started acting. And I auditioned for Young and the Restless. And I got it. The big lead role, replacing Victoria Rao, the great Victoria Rao.
Victoria Rao. She was a part of my whole, like,
baby.
Listen.
So coming behind her was.
Did you feel like the pressure?
What? I still feel it.
But I heard, like, when you guys do soap operas, you have so many pages and the stuff changes so quickly.
It was such a blessing because I got YNR at the same time that I got House of Pain, which is Tyler Perry's show. And so it kind of taught me at the same time just how to retain lines, how to deliver, how to be on point.
What's your secret to retaining? Because I can't even remember what I just ate for breakfast this morning. How do you remember lines, especially if they're telling you, like, okay, we're going to scratch this and shift to whatever?
You remember story. I'm a storyteller. So just like my film, Buried Alive, it's all about the story.
Right.
And I remember a lot of times my director saying, you know what? We're going to change these lines, or this doesn't work out, or we're changing location or whatever. But because I know the story, it's easy to kind of find your words.
Gotcha.
You know what's going on. You're having a conversation about whatever. So you know, because you're in it.
Yeah,
Acting
your
is
crazy ex
reacting.
is back. Here's what I'm going to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's just reactionary. I can't sing, but memory is that's part of what I'm good at. I don't know why.
That's a talent.
Yeah.
That's a skill. Now, I do remember lyrics, a lot of lyrics, and then other times I just go off script and make my own.
I was going to say, most of the times they're not the right lyrics.
Wait, girl, listen though.
Like Tim's just came out and let us know that we've been singing her song.
The whole thing wrong.
I Will Wait for You and she's like, I will not wait for you.
Wait, let me clarify this. Now that's gone number one.
Yes.
Let me correct you now.
Yes. And she's a lot like Alicia in Buried Alive, where she did not wait for him.
Did not wait. You said you had to move on.
Had to move on.
Took that ring off. Had to move on.
And in life, I think that's what the message is to figure out how to move on. And move on in a healthy way.
Yes.
You know, where you're not carrying that baggage. And I think for Alicia, I had to find myself getting out of character afterward, because she is one that walked around with just PTSD all the time, just always paranoid, helicopter mom, wants to make sure her son is safe and will do anything. But her son knows nothing about his father.
Yeah.
So it's difficult because now dad comes home and all he's ever wanted was his father.
Was to see his father. But that goes back to having the communication, the clear communication with your child. And if you don't have the kids, like I'm an auntie, have the clear communication with the niece, the nephews, and whomever, you know.
At what point do you do that, though, Deja Vu?
You're the mom, girl. I don't know. I look to y'all.
What point?
But after they get to a certain age, they have to understand, or mommy and daddy did such and such and such. And then, because that way they won't fall prey or fall victim to certain situations.
Yes, but there's a balancing act in that, because you have to try to figure out what age you want to take their innocence. Because once you give them that, you can't take it away.
That's right. I didn't think about the innocence factor.
And so though you want to let your child in on everything, the reality is you can't, because their innocence is taken. Yeah. And you don't want that. Like, I remember my kids, I didn't want them even playing with dolls for a certain age. I didn't even want them to understand the difference between color. I didn't want them to know black, white, I didn't want them to know what discrimination was. I just wanted them to be a kid.
Right. But the world will show them even if you don't.
In due time. Yeah. But I wanted them to have the time to be a child, to be innocent. Like my daughter, her father explaining their father who chose her versus her father who biologically helped me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it for me, it was a timing thing. Like, when do I tell her? How do I tell her? You know, you don't want the world to tell her. By the same token, you don't want to crumble the world that you've created for her either.
It is a balancing act.
It is.
And who do you call in those situations? Who's your circle, your wisdom circle?
Church, Change Church in Atlanta. The Lord. I'm in the middle of reading Proverbs right now, getting my good old wisdom, making sure I use that properly. But I am blessed to have a great circle around me. I believe in therapy.
Yes.
Very much so.
Yes.
So thank you to my therapist who makes sure I'm good weekly. You can do it however you like to, but I'm a weekly kind of girl. But I love my mom. My mom is my biggest supporter. So I have her. Yeah. My best friend, Robert, he is literally my left leg. Like my right leg connects to his left.
Aww.
Like that is my guy. And so going through life, your ups, your downs, for me, depression, just second, third, fifth guessing everything you're doing. You have to have
one step at a time.
It is. But you have to have someone with you to remind you to get up and take those steps. You know what I mean? And so in the film for Alicia, hers was her sister.
Yes.
Camlin was, she's strong. She gets it. She knows. She's smart. She's witty. And Alicia is just a little bit more naive. And it's hard because when you love someone, they can get away with a lot.
I know. And then you can remember the happy times and you get caught up in those feelings.
Yes. And my mom, I remember when I was in college, I broke up with my boyfriend. I was just devastated. I came home for summer break and I was just crying and crying. And my mom, she came and sat in the bed and she said, you know, God does an amazing thing. He helps you remember all of the good things about a person. But you have to remember the reason why you walked away.
Yes.
That's the thing. And when you think about the toxic cycle we find ourselves in, we fall in love, then we learn the person instead of learning the person and then falling in love. Yes. So now you love them, then you get to know them. And those demons are real.
And then you're like, baby.
But I want to save him now because I love him.
That's true. Oh, I can help him out. He just does such and such and such.
Yes, and he just, he didn't grow up with this or he didn't have that. And so we make all of these excuses.
Or he didn't have the woman to love him like I'm going to love him.
Exactly. Or he didn't know his mom that well. Or, all of these excuses we make because we're now in love.
Yes.
And then we start to forget ourselves. And we start to forget to prioritize ourselves. And we can only be of assistance when we have somewhere to pour from.
First, put the mask on yourself, the oxygen mask, and then you can support someone else.
Exactly. And so you can't pour from an empty glass. So I had to remember, and just like Alicia, trying to figure out how to refill her cup.
I know, that's right.
So when it's time to pour, she's ready.
She'll be able to do it.
And have some left for herself.
Exactly. And then not be afraid to take chances and for future things as well.
That's the hard part, girl.
Well, one step at a time.
That's the hard part, especially when you went through a lot of life.
Oh, yeah.
You have this big age of 40. You're like, you know what? I'm content over here by myself. But the truth is we're not meant to be alone.
We're supposed to be in company, in fellowship with some people in some form or fashion.
We are.
And it doesn't have to be, I've learned that it just doesn't have to be so immersive. I used to be so all or nothing.
Yes.
There is room for a little gray space and you can just, be content and learn to develop into that. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Yeah. It does. But for me, I'm that girl. I'm the, if you're mine and I'm yours, you get all of me.
Yes.
And I don't know how to reserve that. You know what I mean? I'm learning that now, but I don't know how to reserve that. And I don't think I actually want to.
Right. But I'm saying, in the beginning, to protect you and your feelings, your children, it's just I don't know. That's how I've learned to balance it.
Yes.
And that's because I would just career, this, that, all for love.
Yes.
I think because I saw so much drama on TV.
Exactly. Well, that's the beauty of art.
That is.
And that's the easiest lesson, too. The easiest way to learn is from someone else's mistakes.
That is true.
And not going through them yourself. But Alicia had to figure it out on her own. She had the assistance of her sister and then
And her friend.
Coco Jones, who plays the best friend. Everyone has that like coworker that turns into their like sister
Their
or
homegirl.
their
My ride, sis. We about to ride right now.
out. And they're like, what time we going?
Right,
You
right.
driving or me?
You driving or me?
Should I pick up some food? Did you eat yet? Exactly. And so Alicia had that. And so even though she felt alone, even though she felt, and I think that's how a lot of us feel like we're alone in this world, there are people that are praying for you. There are people that are trying to hold you down.
Folks that you don't even know that are looking out for you and praying and sending positive energy and vibes your way.
Exactly. And Alicia is a very to herself woman.
Yes.
So she doesn't tell everybody about her life. So even her friend from work, Joe, played by Coco Jones, she has no idea about what I've gone through. She just knows that I'm a little bit on edge and needs a man. She's like, girl, you need a man. I'm like, if she only knew what I went through. But then when life got crazy, I called on her. Because when life gets crazy, you still call on the people that you can trust.
Absolutely.
And that was her.
Absolutely. Now, talk to me about how you handle life in the public eye. I mean, because you'll see this played across whatever medium, if it's on the blogs, used to be the newspapers and all that. But, how do you handle that? What are some of the things that you do just to keep yourself from going off on some of the things that you see about you?
Yes. So many things. I mean, I have been ripped to shreds in the media. I have been praised in the media. I've heard this saying that Whitney Houston said. I remember they asked her after she sang the national anthem. Everyone said you were amazing. How do you feel? Do you think you were as great as they said? And she says, I don't believe what anyone else says, because if I believe that when they say I'm great, then I also have to believe when they say I'm not.
Wow.
I have to believe in me. Yeah. And so I choose not to care what the rest of the world says. Even my mom, she's like, this is on Instagram. Can you believe they said this is not true? I'm like, Mom, who cares? Like, it doesn't matter unless you care.
Right.
And so what I have learned to do is I know my truth. I have no reason to defend myself against something that's not true. And if it's a rumor and you believe it, then go and enjoy it. Doesn't matter. I still know my truth. I have one person to answer to, period, and it's God. And so for me, I've learned to shake them away. I have people talk about my weight, the way I look, who I date.
Folks are going to always have something to say.
And that is what a friend told me. I remember when I decided to get divorced, and I was devastated. And I called a mentor of mine, and I told them I was going to get divorced. And I was just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And they said, Eva, they going to talk no matter what you do.
No matter what.
No matter what you do, they are going to talk. Yeah. So your best bet is to do what you want to do, because they're going to speak anyway. So now I've decided to surrender. I do what I want to do, how I want to do it. My only prerequisite is to make sure it is out of kindness and it hurts no one else.
Yeah.
That's it. Besides from that, I do me.
Come on now.
Yeah.
And you're doing you with the TV show All the Queen's Men.
Yes.
I saw on your Instagram you posted that it had been 3 years or whatever?
Yes, the 3 seasons. Yeah, we're going into 4.
That is crazy. So what's going to be next for what you all are doing?
Well, after Buried Alive comes out and you get to see the amazingness of Alicia, then I'm going to come back and play with you.
And then
Deja
she'll give me all the details. She's like, listen, boo, stay on track. Okay, it's Alicia, it's Victor, it's Buried Alive and Survive.
Do you know what's crazy, too, about this story?
What's that?
Victor is my husband, played by the amazing Tyler Lepley, who is so charming. He's not as scary.
He's eye candy, charming to look at.
He's delicious.
But he plays that role.
He is an amazing actor.
Yes.
He is so good. I cannot wait to see him in more work, because he is, his ability to turn it on and turn it off is just epic. And he is a doll and a delight to work with. And then we have a newcomer, Jaden White, who plays our son. And his name is Malcolm. So I have a Malcolm and I have a Victor. And my brother's name is Malcolm Victor.
Wow.
What are the chances?
Look at that.
So when I got the script, I knew it was divine. I knew it was supposed to be done. My mom saw the trailer and she's like, Malcolm and a Victor, what?
It's already right in the family.
It is. It is. It was meant to be.
So what do you do when you are decompressing? After you've done your roles, after you are finished, what do you do for relaxation?
I hang out with my best friend, Robert. I like to eat. I'm a big
What are we
foodie.
eating? What's the foodie?
We eat everything. Don't let petite fool you. I love to eat. That is my jam. I like to cook.
What do you cook?
Everything. I'm the Sunday dinner girl. So
you're the real throwdown after church? We're going over your house?
Thank you. At church, they're like, so we're eating tonight, right? I'm lamb chops, bacon, roasting chicken,
Come on.
frying ribs, grilling ribs. You like it? I make it. Gumbo, oxtails.
Now, what is your dessert hitting on?
Pineapple upside down cake.
Okay,
I'm just saying, what you want to do?
I'm there.
You want a peach cobbler?
Can you get me a little something with some chocolate in it somewhere?
We can do some chocolate.
Okay, I was just wondering.
The kids love chocolate. We can do some chocolate.
Let's do that.
But no, I love to eat. I love to hang out with my friends. I like my home. I feel safe there. I
You
feel
like entertaining?
I do, but I like to entertain my small little circle.
Me too, girl. I can't have everybody.
I don't want everyone there, but I do want like a nice sustaining circle. The ones that like go and wash the dishes after stuff is done, and like straighten the couch back out before they leave. Yes. Those friends, but I like playing spades. I'm a regular kind of girl.
I am not a spades. I don't know how to play cards. And don't close your mouth. Do not take my card from me because I don't play.
You play bit whist or tonk?
Uno? I mean, I can throw a draw 4. Come on.
Oh my God.
Eva.
You don't know how to play spades?
Listen, I was told, my mom was like, when your daddy tried to make me to play spades or cards or whatever, they would get in arguments. So she said, don't play cards.
That's part of spades.
And then I said, okay, I won't play cards. And so I, as a child, even when I went to college, I never did. I was like, no thanks.
No, you have to play spades. No, you do.
And then now there's so much pressure. I heard there's
who's
pressure.
Your partner?
No, ma'am.
And let's go and don't renege.
That
Stop
part.
playing with me.
See?
And how many books do we have?
Something impossible. Is that what they say?
Get 2 in a possible, 3 in a possible.
Yeah, I heard that.
I like definites.
I don't know how to
I like to know what we have.
See? You already getting
Don't overbid or underbid. You feel it? You feel it? No, I enjoy my game. I enjoy playing spades. That's my game.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, I need to see you in the tournament. I'll watch from afar and report.
Okay.
We're reporting live.
And you can come play Uno with me and my kids.
Now, there we go. Listen, my grandmother used to play Uno. That goes all the way to the old folks' home, okay? Listen, Uno from 0 to 99.
But see, Uno at the old folks' home is a different kind of Uno. They get as real as spades.
Now, they do.
They get as real as
Girl,
spades.
My grandmother roped me into a game. She's like, hey, let's play a game. 10 games later, Granny, can we finish? Can we wrap it up?
Quick story about Uno. One of my sisters in the business, big sister, my heart, Vivica Fox.
Oh, I love Vivica.
Viv used to have Uno parties at her house. So we would play Uno and she would make tacos. Like that was her thing when I lived in LA. And I remember she's like house rules, but she didn't say what the house rules were. So she like threw 4 reverses or 4 things on top. I'm like, you can't do that.
Listen.
Yo, me and Viv got into the biggest fight. And even to this day, we have went online and asked Mr. Uno on Instagram, like, can you do these stacky thingies?
Yes, you can't stack.
No, you can't stack.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't stack. It's
draw 4. Draw 4 again.
It's a card.
Reverse back to me.
You play 1 card at a time.
Ma'am, when you draw 4, you have to get up. You can't.
Then you ready for spades because I'm going to throw all my chumps out there and run me all your cards. You ready then. You know what this is.
She got the handwork and everything.
It's a party, baby.
Come on.
Yes.
You are a mess. Are you going to have a viewing party for Buried Alive?
So Buried Alive is having a screening in Atlanta. It's going to be held by Tyler Lepley.
Okay.
Which, ladies, please don't bust the doors down. I know he is absolutely handsome. But he's going to hold it down in Atlanta, and I will be in Milan watching from there.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. We're going to Milan. Okay, and what are we doing in Milan?
It's fashion season,
stuff?
Baby.
How long does fashion season last? I mean, there's a week and then there's really a month.
No, it's a season. It's a season.
Does it
you
really
do
go
weeks.
from?
Yeah, so you do your week in New York. It kicks off fashion season. Then you go to London. They're in London right now. Then after London, you go to Milan. So you do Italy. And after Italy, you end in Paris. So you had Haute Couture fashion season was before this. So that was the very avant-garde clothes.
The stuff that we're never going to wear.
The funny stuff you see on Instagram when they're coming down with brooms.
Yes.
But this stuff you'll see now is spring, summer, and or fall, winter, excuse me, for 2024.
2025.
Yeah, 2025 next season.
Okay.
So you'll get your resort wear, everything you're going to be seeing on.
Now, are you coming out with a line? Didn't you have something, or do you have sheets?
At Home
Something.
Decor?
Yes.
Home Decor line. Yes.
Yeah.
Eva by Eva Marcelle.
Yes.
Yes, but clothing is different. Clothing is hard because clothing, it turns around so quickly. And so if I decide to design full time, I don't do anything half-assed. So if I'm doing it, I'm doing it.
Right.
So I can't do everything else. I can't act. I don't have time to study. I have three
gotcha.
children. I'm writing. I'm directing now. I don't have.
Wait. She says she's writing and directing. What are we writing and directing?
We have new stuff coming out. I got to come back and pay with you,
know
Deja
what?
Vu.
I'm not messing with you. I'm not messing
Yes.
with you. She's like, I'm going to stay focused.
You have to stay
but
focused.
But that's great, though, that you're getting your multiple hustles on. I love it.
Yes. We have to be multi-hyphenate.
Yes. And what
So
are we
we
doing
do.
with the kiddos for the season? I know holiday season's coming up.
It
What do y'all
is.
do?
I'm excited. My youngest turns 5 next week.
Youngest is 5?
Yes. And all they want to know is, can they watch this movie? Because my TV show they can't watch. So they're like, can we watch your new movie? Can we watch Buried Alive? So I think my oldest, who's about to be 11,
Okay.
I'm going to let her watch it.
Yeah, she can grab in. And how old is the middle one?
The middle one's 6.
Okay.
And he's the one, he saw some clips. He's like, Mom, who did this to you?
Aw.
Who is the person who did this to you? Did you? Are you okay? I'm like, I'm okay, sweetheart. I would have to take my makeup off after work.
Right.
Because if I came home,
We're just
yes,
acting.
because they are stressed completely out.
Are any of them trying to get into the industry, or do they have like the little acting bug? or-
Their dad has them in a lot of sports.
Okay.
So my daughter is extremely athletic, extremely. She plays basketball on the boys' team. She's a
Nice,
center.
okay.
Exactly. She just got in chorus.
Nice.
So she's singing and enjoying the arts. And then the younger two, the youngest one, all he wants to do is watch Disney and Frozen and watch Pretty Girls and Little Mermaid. Haley, if you can come, Chloe, Haley, Bailey, please come and save me and my children. They are in love with you.
Sing a little song.
Sing
for
a
them,
song for them,
please.
do a dance shake. And then my middle son, he loves basketball. He is like his dad. He wants to be a lawyer. He is the kid that like wears a bow tie and a
Come
tie
on, young man.
to school. He's like, can I wear something fancy to dinner tonight? And he wears like a vest and a sports coat.
I
I'm like,
love
son,
it.
we're going to a basketball game.
Listen, let him live his life.
I do.
He
I do.
steps up in there. I'm sure everybody's looking like, what?
They do, and they compliment. It's the cutest thing ever.
That's
As a
sweet.
mom, I feel like letting your kids be their authentic self is so necessary. And as much as we want to guide them and decide for them, to your point, at some point they're going to be grown. They're going to find out. They have to figure it out for themselves.
Exactly.
So I want to give them the freedom to be themselves.
I love it. Okay, so before you go, words of encouragement. Give us something for someone who might be going through something.
Yes.
Maybe a quote or whatever advice.
I'll give you words of encouragement from the film, actually. Because Alicia represents so much, not only a woman trying to survive domestic violence, but just a woman trying to survive life.
Yeah.
And so to anyone that finds themselves in a box, whatever that box is for them, and they've been fighting to get out and fighting to figure it out and fighting to find their just a hole of better oxygen to breathe, keep fighting. Do not stop until your last breath. Do not give up. Make sure you climb your way out of whatever hole you're in. Lean on your resources. Lean on God if you believe in him. I do. Whoever your God is or whoever you believe made the trees and the birds and the ocean and all of that, lean on that person because you're not here for an accident. You're here for a reason. Find your purpose. Scrape up out that box and get on your mountain.
Come on, Eva Marcelle. I love it.
Thank you.
Lifetime is where you will find Buried Alive and Survived, premiering tonight, Saturday, September 21st.